What it do, guys? Welcome to Space JB TV. I am your host, Space JB, aka The Astronaut. I'd like to thank you guys for clicking this video. This is my first Sims build on YouTube. I started this build on Twitch, so if you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and drop a like. And if you really enjoy the content, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. That way you guys can stay up to date on everything I do on this channel, because trust me, there's more to come. Alright, let's go ahead and get into it, guys. So, I'm very new to this whole Sims building process. I can't say like very new. I've been working on it for a little bit, like a year or so. But with everything that continues to come out and working on a console, I feel like there's a few limitations versus what I've seen being done on PC. And trust me, those freaking content creators and those builders on PC are amazing. They create fabulous content, and that's what really inspired me to kind of get into this whole Sims building process. I really enjoyed playing The Sims myself. I played Sims 2. That was like the first Sims I ever played, and I played that one on PC. But with Sims 4, I've just stuck to console, and I play it on PS4, and so far I like it. I really enjoy it a lot. It gets me through the day. So when I have like little stressful times, I try to get some builds, or if I get a good idea, then definitely I'll try to see what I can work out and see what I can and cannot do given the limitations that you have in Sims. As far as completing my build. This build here, believe it or not, I got the idea from a video game of me and a buddy of mine where we were playing Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and there's a mission in there. I don't want to ruin it for you guys if you haven't played Ghost Recon Breakpoint, but there's a mission in there where you got to go find the scientist who created the drones, I think. You got to go find his place or his house. So when you get to his house, he has this beautiful like hillside mansion that has like 4 different levels. I mean, it has 2 pools, and it's crazy. It has like these rounded room views or whatnot that give you like a partial 360 view of the landscape, and all these trees in front of it to kind of block it and kind of give it a little bit of obscurity. So with this one here, I got that same idea, though I can't necessarily make curved walls or make them like, how can I put it? I can't make them, I can't do like window views from like curved walls like that. You have to really extend the curve out to where it doesn't really align with the window, because I don't think there's a way to make a rounded, there's no rounded windows in here. I haven't found any. So if anybody on here knows where to get a rounded window at in Sims 4, please leave me a comment and let me know. But as far as I know, there's no way to get like a rounded window view. So right now I wanted to kind of bring that idea of multi-level into this build. I wanted to give the master suite its own level and give it its own area with no blocked views, no nothing. And it's my first time really working with adding more trees into my landscape, because since I have to manipulate the landscape and make a huge hill, there's a lot of dirt that comes with that. So you can't necessarily do anything about the dirt unless you extend a foundation outside of it. But I didn't want to do that, so what I did was I just made trees really, really big, like pine trees, and tried to cover up the dirt. Right now I'm working in the master bathroom in the master suite, and the ideas come to me. I usually work with like bigger doors, but after a while I ended up changing the doors on here, at least inside, because who the hell is gonna have like a 20-foot door in their home? Maybe some people would, at least like inside of the bathroom. I don't know. If you feel that grand esque, I would say, then by all means go ahead and have that huge of a door in there. But sometimes I just trying to like, I get a little too fancy with the build, and I kind of want to dumb it down and make it a little more realistic, I would say. So later on I changed those doors, but for now I do a lot of when I do my builds, I do a lot of views. So I will take my sim character to the area, and I will plop my Sims character down, and you can only do this in live mode, but you end up going down free cam, and then I'll just circle the camera around a bunch of times just so I can see what looks good, where the views are, where the views aren't, because I'm a big advocate on having windows. I love floor to ceiling windows. I don't like to obscure my view. I don't like things to be blocked. I don't like things to be I would say hidden. If there's something to look at, I want to look at it in its entirety. I don't want to be blocked from anything. So with this build here, especially in Del Sol Valley in the Sims 4 game, it gives you this huge hilltop mansion like plot that you can build on, and with that there's nothing blocking your view. So please, if you have this expansion pack, I think it was the Get Famous, if you have that pack, then you get the Del Sol Valley, and with that they have this huge hilltop. It's a celebrity home, so if you're living that lifestyle, if you got the money, then go ahead, than live there. So, but if you want to build on that, then this is a beautiful place to build on. I definitely recommend building here if you're trying to build a really big house. I used to build rooms that were sizes of airplane hangars and try to stuff it with as much crap as I could. And I've learned over the time to kind of dumb it down, less is more, so to speak. And my big thing is like, when in doubt, plan it out. Put a plant, throw some green life in there. That usually adds a little pop to any scenery or any room. And that gets me a long way. I'm starting to work a little bit more with like plant life and trying to do stuff like that. So right now I'm wrapping up the master suites closet, and I felt like this closet was a little tiny for how much I really wanted to have your own area. But for the Sims build, I felt like it was just fine. They really only used their closet for just to really do nothing. You can put a dresser and they don't ever have to go into a closet. You never have to have one. So with this, it's just kind of an idea of just having a walk-in closet. And though it's not much room, I would think in comparison to the master suite itself, I still think that it's a pretty decent closet and it gets the job done. And from the outside view, you can kind of get a partial view of the master house or the main portion or the main house. And with that one's on a whole different level. I completed that one, or did most of that work, when I was doing my live stream on Twitch. And that there, like the concept, I was explaining more of the concept of when I got it from Ghost Recon. And since you can't manipulate the terrain anywhere near what Ghost Recon did for that home, like I can't make diagonal foundation beams, or I can't necessarily take the landscape and build a hill with the landscape by manipulating the land, and take a house and put that inside where the house is peeking out halfway to where most of the house or half of the back end of the house is covered by a hillside or mountains. It doesn't work like that. There's going to be a huge gap in between where the hill ends and where the house or the wall to the house begins. There's just going to be like a foot gap there that it looks obvious. You can't make it the way you would like to, which in some cases is unfortunate, but you get around it and you do it what you can. So that's just going back to why I use the trees to kind of cover up that dirt and to really work with the leveling. And I wish that you can put elevators in homes. So Sims, if you're out there and you're listening to me, baby, I would love for you to just go ahead and put the ability to put an elevator in the house. Okay, I just want to build a multi-level home, put an elevator in it, feel fancy, and be able to go to like floor 1, floor 2, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like we're some people on here are multi-millionaires, baby. You know what I mean? So give us that luxury. But if they don't, it's whatever. They're like, dude, who are you? So, but in that case, that would be really awesome if you could have access to like elevators and things like that. And right now I'm kind of finishing up I'm working on the living room area of the master suite. Just kind of giving it a simple 1-2 couch set with a TV and a end table, or not an end table, a coffee table. I kind of wanted things to be more lateral, so when things were running in the house, I wanted to place the bed in the diagonal wall, give that its 360 feel of a view with nothing behind it, and then as far as everything in the house, you can see everything from corner to corner, at least while you're in that specific area of the home. And then while you're walking through or traveling from the front door all the way through to the bathroom, you don't have any obscured views. There's nothing that can be really like, unless somebody's on your level or really trying to see inside your home, there's nothing for them to see. I feel like it's pushed back far enough to where it's not much of a viewpoint for anybody else. But for you yourself, like if your Sims like to walk around nude, I don't know what your Sims do in here. If they like to do stuff like that, you have all the privacy, or as my mom likes to say, privacy. You have all the privacy in the world, So with that, just have fun. And I'd like to expand with those like lateral, just a lateral length, and just giving that view, giving them views from point A to point B, all the way across the home, or all the way across the room, I should say. My Sims character, if I ever did like a story to Sims, which I'm thinking about doing, if this goes really well, I don't have a goal or anything like that. If the thing hits like 100 likes, that'll be really awesome. I will definitely continue to put out content regardless. But if this thing does well and hits like 100 likes, that'll let me know that you guys really enjoy the content and that you're looking forward to more content. So I definitely want to get on a better schedule as far as producing more content. So definitely, if this thing does well, again, I don't have a goal for it, but if it does well enough, then absolutely, I'll tip my hat to all you guys, and I'll bring more content and then definitely produce more content as far as Sims builds and things like that. So, but if I do like a Sim story, this is the house that I think my characters are going to start from. This is the house I think that my characters are going to have kids and do their family stuff. It's my character and his girlfriend, which is a representation of my lady. I guess she wants to be in the Sims world too. So it's pretty cool. She, I didn't think that I'd be really into this game, and again, it was the building got me first, and then I started exploring more into the Sims play, and that really set me off as far as like not playing it in years from Sims 2 to Sims 4, and I didn't play Sims 4 until, geez, I think I didn't play Sims 4 until maybe 2016, or yeah, it was like 2016 or something like that. I didn't play Sim, and I was like, I think it was on, it either was recently released for console, PlayStation, and all that stuff, but at least like PlayStation 4. But it was like 2015 or 2016 is when I first played Sims 4. So it was a very long time between Sims 2 and Sims 4. So the story mode, I think that'd be really cool, just to kind of have like a story, and see how they do. But it's hard sometimes. Hell, making sure everybody's fed and all that stuff, that's hard. I feel like people be starving to death. But also, I feel like if your Sim's smart enough, they need to be getting their ass to the fridge. They need to be go ahead and open up the fridge and get something to eat. Sometimes it don't work like that. They rather go paint or go work out when they know they close to starving. It's weird. It's weird. And in places like this here too, you think to yourself, when they have to really go to the bathroom, like why do you do something else instead of just going to the bathroom? Or why would you wait so late to go to the bathroom? Because if they hold it for too long, don't isn't it an automatic just wet yourself type of deal whether you're an adult or not? I haven't risked a biscuit like that. I haven't done that, so I don't know. I haven't risked my biscuits like that. I just told my Sims to stop what they were doing. Stop. Make sure they went to the restroom. If they were late for work, they were late for work. I didn't care. Now just finishing up the desk. I felt like I could have done a little bit more, or at least gave the desk a different area of the house. But I didn't want to. I didn't want to put it on carpet or put it too close to the bookshelf. So I kind of just left it where it was. Now I could place it up. I feel like now looking back at it, I could place it up against the window where I put the painting, but I didn't do so. I just left it where it was and kept the painting area where it was. My Sims character's girlfriend, she likes to paint a lot. Like I think that's actually her career. I think she's a painter. She sells a lot of paintings. Putting a little dog pad in there. We got us a little Boston Terrier. I actually have a Boston Terrier in real life. Her name is Ruby. She's paralyzed from the waist down. She fell off a 2-story balcony. She was a rescue. We didn't own her before she fell. We didn't meet Ruby until after the accident, a little bit after her surgery, I think it was, and my lady just fell in love with the dog, so we ended up we have two. They're both black and white, which is funny. The other one is like a pointer hound pit kind of mixture or whatever. It's a mutt for sure, but black and white. And the Boston Terrier that we have is dead on just black and white. And I think in some cases, I think some of their paws and stuff like that, or like they have like some of the same spots in the same areas, but they're really dope dogs. Like Ruby has a great personality. The other dog that we have, her name is Luna Lovegood from Harry Potter, for those who know. And then Ruby Rod is from one of my favorite movies of all time, Fifth Element, and that was Chris Tucker's character, for those who don't know. So Ruby Rod, and we have Luna Lovegood. Wow, that's coming along, man. Seeing this thing in like a speed mode, that's coming along. Now I'll tell you one thing. So when I was streaming the build, it took me about 3 hours. It was like 3 hours and some change or whatever it was. Maybe like 3 hours and 10 minutes or so. I can't remember exactly, but it was a little bit over 3 hours. And once I ended my stream, I continued the build, and then I saved it first, and then I continued on as much as I could that evening. And I got really far, and then I had to stop it, and then I had to continue on the next day. But when I looked back at the recording of it all, it was a good 4 hours and like 40 minutes or something like that. So a little close to 5 hours. And I was amazed at how much time was spent into that build. I'd never really recorded a Sims build at all, or thought about how much time I put into it. I just thought, man, this takes a long ass time. Like these builds take a really long time. but I didn't think about how long they took. And this thing took me a whole day's worth of work. It was like 9 hours. And thinking about like, being a full-time streamer, it's like, man, I could definitely see myself doing something like this. And I really enjoy like the editing and the cutting of footage and doing things like that. That gets my juices flowing besides the build. The build itself is one thing, but I definitely now seeing it, I guess make that 180 to just being content that I created to now edited and finalized and finished and things like that to produced. It's really amazing. It makes me smile. I'm smiling just looking at it right now as I'm recording over it. So this is this is amazing. I would love to be able to do something like this full time for you guys. And I'm a trainer in my personal life. That's what I do. I'm a personal trainer, and that goes very well. I like that connecting with people. I love seeing people make changes in their lives, not just physically but mentally. It's just one thing, and it's just been a journey. I'm doing a little bit more, going back to the Sims build, I'm doing a little more work in the main house right now. The one level that you saw that was underneath, I was doing some flooring, and with that, there's a basement level under here. There's a basement level with a gym, with a spa, and with just a relaxed room. So it has like a massage table, massage chair, and just a little reading nook in the corner, but it also has a sauna and a full gym downstairs in the basement. So the main house has those two areas. It also has two full bathrooms in each of the bedrooms. It has two main bedrooms in the main house, and a spare bathroom plus washroom, full kitchen, everything that you would need in a main house. And then it also has the downstairs basement access to the gym and the spa area. So, and it also comes with the main pool access. So the main portion of the house has the main pool access as well. And now going back to with connecting, that's partly why I love doing the live streaming and doing the creating content now as far as a gamer. Because when I was going through some rough times in my life, there were some streamers that were doing very, very like awesome things on YouTube, and they helped me get out of funks in my life. And I was like, wow, this is really awesome. And I got into entertainment and acting myself, and I just really known that I've had like an easy way of connecting with people, and people open up to me fairly easily. So I took advantage of that and really just put my best foot forward and wanted to help people. It's like, look, if people easily open up to me, then why not help them? Why not listen? And most of the time, that's all you really need to do is just listen. It's not really just about like helping. Like, is listening helps and goes a long way. And sometimes it's just about asking people how they're doing or how their day is. So with that, it's just, I didn't think I was going to be a coach or a fitness trainer or anything like that, and I kind of fell into that career, and it's worked out for me so far. And again, just talking about helping people, and I think that's really got my interest with streaming and gaming, because I've met a lot of people that I haven't met personally, but just through like chat streams and just through the content itself. I mean, I've met some amazing people from all across the globe. You're talking Canada, Australia, I got people that are in the States itself, like just New York, and like that's like completely on the opposite side of the States for me. And then you have people that are in, I got people in England, and then just Brazil. It's crazy how like these people are coming, where these folks are coming from, and how awesome they are. And they just be like, hey, how are you? I just want to hear about your day. And I want to hear about your day, baby. Tell me about you, baby. So my heart goes out to each and every one of you guys, and thank you guys for all the support and love that you showed and continue to show me. So man, this is dope. So right now we're working on the outside areas. We're just kind of finishing up that exterior and interior wall settings. We're going to be working on the decks right now, just finishing up. I finished up the main house deck, and now I'm just working with the master suites deck itself. And I don't know. I gotta learn more about like what some of these home names are, like style homes. So like if I'm building like a modern home or a contemporary or whatever it is, I gotta learn more about like what these things are, what class they're in, or what definition the house style would be. That way, once I'm building, I can be more strict to that concept. Or if there's any kind of concepts that you guys want me to try out, please let me know, and I can use that as a learning curve as far as opening up my style of building and trying to explore and get a little bit more in my repertoire as far as these builds go. So if there's things that like a style that you guys like or something that you guys want to see, don't hesitate to ask. I just hit my finger on my desk and that hurt. Woo! So yeah, right now we're finishing up the Master Suites deck area, where I just placed a little jacuzzi. I blocked it off with some hedges, some boxed hedges. I think they're called. I don't know what they're actually called, but they're just like what I would consider fake hedges, fake tall hedges. And then I just place, just to give a little separation between that that drop off where the house and the deck don't meet. I wanted to get a little more greenery up here. I wanted to kind of feel like a garden, even though it's not much garden space. So I didn't necessarily work with too many different flowers. I was having a little trouble placing this one. It just was giving me just giving me a little bit of elbow. So, but I just kind of wanted to give a little separation. That way you're not just looking directly underneath the house. And then I placed a fire pit. I like the idea of having these fire pits, especially away from the roof. But because if you were up there, what would, I mean, come on now. You can't tell me that a nice, well-placed fire in a little fire pit, a safe fire pit, wouldn't be something dope. Wouldn't be something that you would have. Like, I'd have that. You know what I mean? Regardless of whatever anybody think, I'd have that. I wish you could place it like either underground or place it under like in a stone circle or something like that. That'd be, matter of fact, I think you probably could, but it'd be that fountain thing, and I don't know if those two can go together. Now I'm just detailing the pathway. I wanted to keep as much of the greenery showing as I could, but give it that, you know, kind of stone castle-esque kind of a feel. And with a lot of my builds, I work with textures, so I try to work with as many textures as I can. I'm very big on having stone walls, so if you guys see a lot more of my builds, you're going to see some similarities with that. I try to place little stone wall accents or 3/4 walls or things that I really like. I'm very big on flow and feng shui. I don't like to feel trapped or closed off in areas. I kind of like to flow and wrap around things. I like there to be more space than or more areas to enter and exit than just one, especially in given rooms or connecting rooms. Like I do that fairly a lot when it comes to if I connect the kitchen with the living area or anything like that. I try to have like a open 3/4 wall and a 360 view, so or just a 360 way to travel. And with my accents, I like to take some stone walls and place them on maybe one wall of a room, because it just, in my mind, it's about the feel itself, not just the way it looks. If you were in an area like that, I really like to touch on stone like or concrete walls, and it just feels really good. Things have energies in them, energetic properties. So with that, I really like the feel of certain objects. And when it comes to the stone walls, they look really good in The Sims, and I just imagine feeling the wall itself, just going from like either some really soft wood wall or a different material and just coming right across that really alive stone wall. So now just finishing up the garage and wrapping up the garage area, doing a little bit more outside work. I got to get better with the garage builds. I'm fairly new to trying to create a garage or try to make a garage, so I got to experiment with what windows I think look good, or what I would, oh no, I just dropped my phone, or what would like really look good, or what would really suffice as a garage door. Because some of these windows you have to place to try to make them look like a garage door. And another thing, I don't have those cool ass cars that they have on PC. I don't know if that's on PC or if it's on console yet too, but I just don't have those. So I don't have everything on here yet. There's some stuff packs and expansion packs I haven't bought yet, but I have a bit of equipment on here, so I have enough to get me by as far as that goes. But I'm hoping to purchase more of these expansion packs and stuff packs just to see what there is available. That way I can have more to build with, and it'll definitely give me a lot of ideas and ways to go. So but just going back to textures, I like to include as many of the elements as I can, whether it's metal, wood, water, or stone or something like that. I really like to, or earth itself, you know, that's really wood. But if I was to build a room or like somewhere there, I know there's going to be a lot of travel. I want to have a little bit of everything. I want there to be some wood, and I want there to be some stone walls or some concrete walls. And I want the light, the natural lighting, to complement all of that. Going back to the big floor-to-ceiling windows, another big thing Sims does very well on here is lighting. I think that their lighting is amazing, from natural lighting to room lighting itself. So like the vibrancy of how bright the light is, to the color change, and how the lighting travels when it comes to the day and night cycle on this game. The light travels fairly well if you take the time to find it. And if you get the right colors, some things may not look good in the dark, but yet if the natural light hits it, it just pops. And with certain areas, I like to limit the hard light or the the light bulbs or whatever it is, or the fluorescent light. I like to limit that, so in some cases, and let the natural light take half the room, and let the fluorescent or the light bulbs take the other half of the room. You know what I mean? And that means like when it's like daytime, you get a lot of the natural lighting inside of the place giving you some lighting. And then at night, that's when you can turn on the lights and boom, there you go. But I feel like in some homes, even during the daytime, yeah, you can open up your windows, but depending on how the light travels, you might not get that much sunlight in there to lighten up the area. You get a little bit on the floor, or you get a little bit early and then it doesn't last long, or you get some late and it doesn't last long. So in this home, I really wanted to complement elements with the lighting and being so high in the air, in the sky. I figured if let's say it's going east to west or whatever it is, I feel like that's just going to travel right across the windows and if it's going north to south, then it's just going to come right over the roof, and you still get so much of that light coming right through at the beginning and then wrapping over you. So by that time, you don't even really care. You're good to go. You're good to go. And feng shui wise, I try to work with some like feng shui elements as far as like some type of theme. I'm very big into astrology and astronomy. So when it comes to like space and whatnot, hell, my name is Space JB. So I'm really into those things, and I'm glad that they have a lot of those like artwork and accents and things like that kind of represent space and exploration. I almost said space and exploration. So that's dope. That's dope. And I'm also into like the kind of like they have like a really good like with the expansion pack, the Island Living. They have a lot of good like island cultural stuff. That's dope. They also have a good Asian culture set, like with the bamboo and some of the photos and whatnot. And I'll be working with that. Some of the houses that I've already built, I'll see if I'll see how I feel about just doing a presentation video. And if you guys like that, idea, leave me a comment and let me know. I'll show some of my other builds that I've already worked on, and I can just do like a presentation showing of them and just kind of give it that really cool. You'll guys see at the end of this video. You guys will see. You'll see. And I hope you guys like it. And if you do, then I'll do some presentation videos to some of the other builds that I have, and that way you guys can see that. Finishing up in the garage, I think we went in the main. I do that a lot. I'll start in one room, start building, and then I'll find an item that I need, and I'm like, dang, this item right here, it'll go dope in another area. So what do? Instead of me just finishing up this room, I jet to a whole nother area of the house and start working on that area. And then I can even spend another like 10, 20 minutes in that room and just continue to do that. I don't know if any other Sims builders or people who like really just like have fun building on here have that trouble. Even if you take building very seriously on here, if you have that trouble, or you just like can go room to room. I'm trying to get better at going room to room to room and just doing it that way, and not necessarily taking getting distracted and going like way off base. So I'm trying to do my best. I'm still working on that. So be patient with me. Don't hurt me, y'all. Don't hurt me. Still finishing up the garage right now. I'm just trying to make it as I don't know. I would say not like realistic, but just homish. You know, just giving it kind of like that comfort feel. Like, these people aren't just very neat and crazy with their millions. They're artistic and fun. And plus, if my lady's a painter, why not have a little artwork in the garage? Why not? I was working to see if I could, again, I'm trying to work and see better with these doors, and I'm realizing too I should have placed that thinner one right in the middle. That's a terrible choice. But I'm trying to work, I'm trying to get better at like building garages. So forgive me on the garage. I don't feel like my garage was a 5-star garage. I feel like it was more of a 2.5 except the interior. I feel like the interior was dope, but the exterior or how it looked as a garage itself, I don't feel like it worked. Wrapping up the living room and the dining room, I'm trying to place all my little knickknacks. I try to do those last, and again, that goes back to me just not being so good at, completing a room and then going again and then completing a room and going again. I generally try to do the whole foundation, the wall settings and whatnot, and then I'll go through and I'll start placing little items in each room to kind of give me an idea of like, I'm going to make this room, or this is what I'm going to turn this into, because I can get an idea of space, and I'll build the rooms as far as their layout, and then I'll cut the walls and do what I need to do if I need to make the walls a little bit thicker, or if I need to just keep it as a single, or whatever I need to do, and then I'll go from there. And sometimes I can be a little mechanical as far as like geometrical. I can just be very L-shaped home or very rectangular home. I'm trying to experiment more with just some odd shapes and just some weird, just some funky corners and some funky shapes as far as homes go. So that's gonna be like my next task, is just to make like a weird, not an unlivable weirdly shaped home, but just something with some different views and different cuts and angles. See, there I go again. There I go again. Going all the way back. I went all the way back to the garage. For what? For what? What am I doing? Oh my goodness. I'm trying to figure out this door situation, but I can't figure out to place this one in the middle. Look at me. Oh, look at me. Oh wait, I did figure. Oh, that looks good. Oh, I need to compliment myself. I couldn't even. That's right. I placed the door on the side. All right, going back to the relax room. Now, this is what I was talking about here. This is the area where it has the spa, and now I'm creating the kind of relaxed room. I would say it's gonna have a little couch in the corner, a bookshelf. Give it a little green. Like I say, hey, when in doubt, plan it out. You got to put some greenery in there, make that happen. And again, I found an item and it took me back upstairs. Look at that. Look at me. You guys are gonna get tired of that soon. No. Like, hey man, finish up a room, dude. We getting there, baby. We getting there. I'm thinking of other plans to place. And look at that. See, I'm not even back downstairs in the. I'm not even backstairs in the. Oh, now I go back. I find the plant that I need that drove me back downstairs in the basement. So finishing up the chill room, a little bit of hot and cold. I wanted to give a soft plant and then a cactus, just something like hard and soft. And if you see where they're placed, the softer plant is on the right side if you're looking at them of the room, which is the softer side, and then the cactus is more on the rougher side where the gym is placed in that area. So kind of a little representation of like what's going on, or what you're by the plants themselves, of what this area represents, what it explains, what it entails, I should say. I can't even figure that out. What are you doing? What are you doing going back upstairs, man? What are you doing? Get downstairs. Get back down there in the basement. Oh no, I'm trying to place fountains. I'm trying to get too millionaire-ish. I'm trying to get too millionaires. That's like, I'm trying to spend a lot of money right here. Right, oh yeah, let me place a fountain in here. Oh yeah, that's gonna work. Oh yeah. No. Stop. I think I just gave up on that idea. I think I didn't find the fountain that I was looking for, and I think I really just gave up on that. Yep, moved on. That blue door bothers me a lot. I kept it because it goes from floor to ceiling, but that blue door bothers me a lot. I don't like how the windows are clear and that door is blue. Like the tint of the window is blue. So if you want to place tall windows, you got to either get that other door that has the two doors at the bottom.
On, like what I'm trying to work on now is just getting a feel for like using blinds. I don't use blinds or curtains that often. I haven't necessarily had that good of a appeal with them, but I'm trying to place those in there just because there's a little bit of space in between the trees where you can see a little bit of the front yard and just in between those tree areas. So I would just think that if you're trying to sit there and read, it would just been a good idea to kind of place some curtains. So I'm trying to figure out which sizes work best and angle those out. There's like, I try to choose some shorter ones for the other side and some long ones for the for where the stereo is. And those are cool little picture frames that you could put now. They have like digital picture frames that kind of are like the actual digital picture frames where you can upload a few of them on there and they just roll through photos all over and over again. And once again, there's me just transitioning to a whole nother room. And I think I'm just working on knickknacks in this area too. Just trying to figure out some stuff and just placing to give it a little bit more of a lively feel, like some people actually live there and care. Not just making it just bare bones and empty, but just give it a little life. Man, you see what I'm talking about with lighting and whatnot? Look at those shadows coming from the outside furniture all the way to the inside of the house. It's just beautiful. I always like to place that little log cabin thing out there and just gave it some vine work across the side of the house just to give it some nature growth right on the outside of that wall. So just when you're walking into it, you just get that vibe of just, there's just a little more greenery up there. It's not just all fortified as just one. I mean, just as a home, but nothing with no nature tugging at it too. Oh yeah, I wanted to kind of give it a feel that there was like some hot water heaters or something like that. I'm just taking a look around and get the idea of like, oh, what do I need to do next? What do I need to do next? Okay, sweet deal. Just going back down to the basement. I think this is where I finish up the little cozy room and that relaxation area. I think I end up finalizing the walls in the spa too. Oh, you gotta place a good rug. You know what I mean? If you can find a good rug, place a good rug. Don't be cheap. Don't be cheap about them rugs, baby. I was really thinking about my lady for this like relaxation area, so when I wanted to make it, I just wanted to give it that soft appeal. Give it something just counterpart to the gym. I even think I took the TV out of this area. I think I ended up changing that later, but I didn't want too much noise or ruckus down there. I wanted to keep that into the area where the gym was. I just wanted all the clanging and banging, like all the where you would imagine all the noise being. It would be inside, just on the other side of that wall. Yeah, I'm just finishing up the little knickknacks now. Just placing the little. I always do that at the end. I place all the knickknacks in any room that I, because I'll go through all the miscellaneous items and then I'll figure out. Oh man, since I've been through all the rooms, I figure I know where this would go. Where I would like this, where I would like that, and it kind of makes it a little bit easier once you start to get it down. Once you're in that like final stretch. You don't want to slip in the kitchen. I think we're just gonna finish up this little hallway in the bathrooms, just to get those little details in there, and then call it a square. I'm really liking that. Oh yeah, finishing up these little bathrooms. There's twin bathrooms all over in the rooms that are in the main house. They're just twin bathrooms. They're angled the same. They're built the same. They're really designed the same. They're just the features in them. There's like a children's room, and then it's like a older, like if you had like an older child or something like that. And if you didn't have children at all, you could always redesign it and just turn them into two guest rooms. You don't have to have a kid's room at all. This one here is that'll be like the kids' room, like the younger kids, and then you'll have like your older, or like, you know what I mean. Let's say you had like an older daughter or something like that. The room that I designed is just a little softer in color tone, so that you can just imagine if it's just like, you know, somebody who's in high school or like, you know, junior, senior or something like that, getting ready to go off to college, it's just their room there. So at some point, the one of the other kids are going to be able to jump over to that room, and then it'll be kind of like a split room ordeal. And then they'll just have twin rooms right across from each other. So after a while, it'll kind of be like the kids themselves as teenagers. I have a whole like a whole half of the house to themselves, which I would think would be amazing. What teenager wouldn't want that? Finishing up the desk designs, getting a little, like I said, just finishing up the knickknacks. I always do that at the end. I'm really working on trying to do them like one room at a time, finalize each room at a time. That way I don't have to worry about going back later on and placing all the knickknacks or placing all the little miscellaneous items and little things like that. So as far as like memorabilia or just, I would say just items to make the home just feel a little, just to give it that more homey feel. Like, so like I said, just like somebody's living there. I don't know what I'm looking for right now. So then when you go back and you try to just follow your thought process, and you're like, this is what I was, okay. And then also just seeing this build again, it just gives me ideas for what I would like to try next time. And I think next time, you know, I would like to do a whole build for YouTube from start to finish, and I think I can do that pretty soon. But for now, I really would like to thank you guys for actually clicking on the video and watching me finish out this one here. And if there's a certain design home or a certain like style or a certain like home style that you would be interested in me designing, please just leave me a comment and I'll definitely check those out. And if you guys like this video, just go ahead and hit that thumbs up. And if you really dig my content, and again, like I said, if you guys want to be up to date on everything, just go ahead and hit that notification bell. All right. Last little bit of everything. Here we go. I think we're getting down to that last little bit. And I'm Space JB, guys, and I just want to thank you all. Thank you all for clicking on this video. Much love to you all, and I'll catch you guys on my next video.